and welcome to the last Monday, March. It's Monday, March 30th. Morning coffee and chat. How the hell are y'all? Hope you guys are doing good. Tony, morning, bro. Thank you so much for the cord. It arrived last Wednesday, I think. Sadly, the TV don't work. The 36-inch monitor that I've been so delicate with and everything I had set up back here behind so I could, enlarge the chat and have it 36 inches wide. Yeah, it it don't work. So it'll when I flip on the power, the red light will come on, but I can't get the power switch to work on it to turn it on. So now that I've got the cord, which makes it possible to see the chat, now I have to keep my peepers open at like Goodwill and the other little resale shops around and see if I can find another 36-inch or bigger monitor to plug everything into. But I promised big news in the advertisement, and I'm about to spill it. Only a couple people know already, and those are the ones that have contacted me, via Messenger. I've had a chance to tell. Um, last Wednesday, last Wednesday, I went to the eye doctor. I told you guys about that appointment. Um, he was not the least bit impressed with my eyes. He said the cataract in this eye was literally a third world country kind of cataract. Bright exposure to the sun, a lot of heat, abuse from ultraviolet light. He said that the cataract was so bad in this eye that his little scope, little green light scope that he looks in there, would not penetrate it. He said it was so wide and so thick that it would not penetrate it. He said, this eye, however, it did penetrate it. Yes, it is a wide cataract. It is not as thick. He was able to get an accurate reading on the pressure in the eye. He said pressure was great. He said, as a matter of fact, what I am able to tell from the eyes around the cataracts, that he sees absolutely nothing wrong with my eyes besides the cataract. And the doctor, which handles their network, has done work in third world countries on cataracts. So on the 15th of April, I go back to the doctor for an eval. They measure me for the lenses, and probably right around the 17th or 18th, I will go in for double eye surgery and have the lenses replaced on both eyes, which, according to him, should very well put me back to near perfect vision. So I hope no one has got used to this eye patch, because here in about 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks, you won't be seeing it no more. So I've seen the chat moving. I'm going to, for one of the very last times, bend down, look through my little crack, and read some comments. Um, Hi, Drew. Good morning to you. Oh, good morning, Cher. Good to see you, dear. It was $7 and no big thing. Did what you. Morning, TJ. Morning, Tony. Did what you asked. Drew Brenna has the video on her phone. Good job. Yeah, it is. I was very, very pleased. I was almost, honestly, I was almost in tears when he told me that the doctor specialized in advanced cataract surgery. And because I told him, I said, I expected to come in here and you guys tell me that this was a total loss since it was starting to silver over already. I expected, best case scenario, I was going to maybe get one eye out of possible surgery. He says, nope. He says, we can restore both of them. I'll be honest, I was almost in tears, knowing that, I was not going to be walking around here like a 95-year-old man, having to be careful in shadows and bright light and stuff where it's all glaring up and everything. I was very excited. Um, mm, I have to take the missus to work. I will be back in about 30. All right, Tony. That is cool, my friend. Good morning, Drew. And good morning, Jay. Hope you're doing good this morning, sir. That's fantastic news about your eyes, Drew. I'm so happy for you. Thank you very much, Cher. Yeah, I'm so excited. We had the wife's uncle that passed away here a couple weeks ago. We actually had his birthday yesterday, and just a mini, teeny tiny wee celebration of life thing. And his birthday fell on Grandma's birthday, who passed away 4 years ago. So we took her urn over and set it next to Roger's, and they celebrated their birthdays together the same as they always did. I tried to talk him into putting a beer or a wine cooler or something next to their urns, but the girls wouldn't hear anything about it or hear anything of it, which I don't get. Uncle Roger loved to drink a beer. Grandma loved to drink a wine cooler. That's what I would have done. But today's my dad's 85th birthday, so when I end this stream, I gotta call him. He was 2 years younger than Grandma was. So I got to call the old man and wish him a happy birthday. Um, I found out, and I don't know if she'll pop up this morning, but I did find out. I talked to Sarah on Saturday with school back in session, she's not had a chance to come in the streams in the morning because, well, what kind of extra time do teachers have on Monday through Friday? I wish spring break was like a regulated time throughout the year nationwide. Our kids are on spring break. Um, of course, no one told me, so 6 o'clock this morning, my alarm went off. Just as a backup, since the wife's home and she likes to wake the daughter up for school on the days that she's not just got off work or something like that. So, I, in the middle of something, working on the damn video for this channel, and, I stop what I'm doing, walk out of the room, the house is dark, open up the daughter's door, and then I realize, wait, when is spring break? So I gently close the door, come back in here, get on my phone, look it up. Nope, spring break is this week. I am so glad I didn't wake that kid up because there's a good possibility she's only been asleep for like an hour. Kids and their devices, what do? Then again, it's no different than some of the devices we play with. We just we just can't talk on ours. Let me see here. Uh, I can't. That. Drew, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure how the music video came out. Well, I'm going to judge it. I'll critique the hell out of it. It's funny. I won't on the other channel. Um, I won't debunk or anything other investigators. I critique them. I use them as examples for, like our Paranormal 101 um, series I've been doing. But I will not debunk or, criticize. You, on the other hand, you might as well be family. I mean, you're this close to carrying our last name anyway. So yeah, I'll criticize the hell out of it. So good and well, you send me your first music video um, for your music. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. You know, it's just like when you sent me, or yeah, when you sent me that song. I liked it, so I didn't say anything. If I didn't like it, you would have got a big long message from me telling me everything I saw wrong with it or I heard wrong with it. Videos are different because then I got the audio and the visual I got to watch. So you're yeah, good or bad, you're gonna hear. Have faith. You'll hear. Um, howdy everyone. Okay, can't see who that one is. It's down too low. Um, um, oh, hey Doc. I was trying to. I've come to find that if I'm if I'm looking down at something, it's much harder to read than if it's more on a level line with my eyes. Now I've got it double bad here because the desk comes clear down to here. So not only am I leaning down and looking at it from a weird angle, but it's a flat surface, and I'm trying to look at it on an angle. I mean, you're not a young man anymore like you was when we first met, so I'm sure you've dealt with somebody in your family that's had eye problems. So I mean, I don't got to really go into a mass explanation of I've got to get a hold of. So much has happened since that doctor's visit last week. I've got to get a hold of Mark and Danny and Crystal and start trying to get things rolling for this spring with the investigations. Of course, May 16th and 17th, I've got the Niles Ren Fair that I do security for every year. Um, of course, I'll be doing Viking. I got that real nice helm now. I need some frickin' chainmail, man. And that, believe it or not, there is a place here in the States now that makes English style chainmail. Full shirts, long sleeve, all the way down to the mid thigh, $90. Well, $100 with shipping. It's damn near a 15-pound chainmail shirt. I need one. I need one to complete my outfit. I've got everything else. And when I go out and do a persona at an event, be it a French and Indian War, be it Scottish, be it Viking, be it Civil War, uh, especially a high profile event, I'm going to wind up on the news, either being interviewed or just being shot. And I want it to look, what's the right word? I want it to look tits. I mean, I want it dead on, like it should be. So, I've even foregone the normal Viking sword. I've got a large Viking sax, which is the epitome, hand forged, beautiful piece. Um, that's all I need. Well, I still need to find a tent. That's going to be the hard part. Either finding a canvas tent or finding the canvas to make one. I've still got poles outside, just no canvas. Um, do you have a spare TV that you could connect with your PC or laptop via a HDMI cord? No. Now, see, the TV has the old HDMI, uh, like you would hook a computer monitor up to a desktop, but none of the computers have them. They've outdated those type of plugs. The one, let me fill around here. I'll find it. Where's it at? There it is. The computers now have these type of plugs, which is like, and I don't know if it's the same in Australia as it is here, but when you have a phone charger, you plug the little box in the wall, and then that end plugs in that box, and the smaller end plugs into your phone or your device. Well, the computer and the TV have the same size plug. So I've got to I've got it plugged in the back of the TV and down to the computer, and that's how you transfer that data or that picture. And yeah, with the TV not turning on, um, I can't transfer it, and we don't have an extra TV. So extra TVs are just something you don't tend to keep around. Don't know why. I mean, we had like a 55-inch that was in the daughter's room, and she couldn't get her remote to work with it with our streaming services. So, you know, we went out and bought her a used 36 inch, and I don't know what happened to the 55-inch. You're talking 3 years ago. Hell, for all I know, it's under her bed somewhere. It just completely poof vanished. There's so many things I need. Now that I'm getting my eyes back, I'm trying to shift both of these channels into high gear. I am really going to start concentrating hard, writing my outline for taking Paranormal Papa to the streaming services. I'm going to shoot for Travel Channel. I'm going to shoot for Netflix. I'm going to shoot for Hulu. I'm going to shoot for all of them that I can. Um, it also gives me a chance to start writing my book, since I can't. And once again, if you've never worked with a cataract before, looking at anything bright or anything white, it causes a huge haze. So black print on a white screen is impossible. The white glaze just bleeds right over the top of the letters. White letters on a black screen, it's doable depending upon the degree of the cataract. That's why I can still somewhat read the chat, because I've got um, YouTube on dark mode. So when I started losing, or when this started getting really bad, I switched it over to dark mode. So it's doable. But I have been holding off writing my book, and I have been holding off writing these outlines for a TV series. And I can finally do it. I can finally do it. So, like I said, I'm kicking stuff into high gear. I'm going to get back with Dakota Franson from Bald and Bonkers Network, and see if we can start getting the videos, since the quality of them is going to go back up. I'm going to see if we can start getting these videos from this channel back on Bald and Bonkers on their streaming service. I'm also going to get a hold of Paraflix and see. I don't know if I've told you guys about it, but the premise for the show that I'm trying to write is not going to be, like Ghost Adventures or some of these others that have like big stars and stuff come on as guest investigators. Ghost Adventures has had Twin Paranormal, which are huge on here, but They've also had music performers, they've had rappers, they've had actors, they've had news personalities. My show, the premise for my show is that I'm only going to feature YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok based paranormal investigators. Nobody big, nobody fancy, no big celebrities, just the people who have started the same way I started. Oh, I got an itch. And it's not going to be any of the 500,000 subscribers, a million subscribers, and 2 million. It's going to be everything from picking up a K2 meter for the first time to having 1,000 subscribers, 2,000, 2,500. The people who need the attention to build up. Because even though I was posting my investigations on here from the time that we actually started recording our investigations, starting the new channel, we just broke 102 subscribers. I've been going since July. But the nice thing about it is, here in the last couple months, we've gone up one or two subscribers a week. You know, it's Monday. I've not heard a trash truck yet today. Is it a holiday? Is it a reason for the trash not to run? Today's not a holiday. It's, oh my God, my kids are at home this week day. I don't know. Um, Let me see here. Wait, what happened? What the hell? Okay, there we go. I was starting to say, what happened? I lost the screen. Um, I have I have to go. I have a painful ass dentist appointment, but it was good chatting, and good luck with the TV series and book. Is that Jay? All right, Doc. You take care of yourself, and hopefully it goes well, and you're not walking around with your face all swollen up all day. That's what I said I was going to do. I'm taking my music more seriously and trying to get out there. And you should. You absolutely should. You're good. You're really good. And your music is fresh. You've your voice, your lyrics, you should take it more serious. And I mean, this is your job. This is your job. You don't work a 9 to 5. So, you know, you can sit there, unless the house catches fire or, the dog tries to eat one of the kids or something like that. You've got all day long that you can work on your stuff. That way you're done with it when Brenna gets home. And you can, tell her, ask her about her day, tell her about yours, maybe sit down on the couch or something and show her what you done. It's kind of fulfilling when you have a supportive spouse at home. And I'm sure with those kids around, even they could help you do some stuff. As good as you are at writing lyrics, you could definitely come up with some kind of tear jerking ballad, daddy and kids kind of song. And if nothing else, set up your tripod and your camera at the park, pushing them on the swing, running around with them, falling down on the ground, taking off your hat, putting it on the kids, playing on the merry-go-round. I'm a videographer, dude. I think about that stuff. You know, Video ideas come very easy for me. It's just a matter of splicing them together and editing where, you don't spend as much time showing you carrying the tripod from location to location as to just blending the pieces together and cutting all the non essential stuff out. Told you, one way or another, somehow, some way, one of these days when I'm rich, which, isn't going to happen through Social Security disability now because I'll have my eyes back. So, I got to rely on a stroke or something like that to be able to not have to work. But, I'm going to go back to work. I'm going to help out my wife. I might actually, hopefully, be able to get a security gig out at the casino, where I'm making close to what she's making or something. I would like to get my own vehicle, not only, for getting to the investigations and stuff, but being able to not, tear her car up once we finally bloody get it back from the mechanics after 5 weeks. Um, Getting back and forth to work myself because there's no guarantee they would put her and I on the same schedule, which means there's a good possibility that she will have to go to work at 8 o'clock at night, come home at 4, or get home at 4:30, and then I'll have to be at work at 6 and work till 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock or whatever, 4 o'clock, and then she's gonna have to come pick me up, come back home, get in the shower, and get ready to leave at 6 or 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock or whenever 10, 11, 10 o'clock, whenever she's supposed to leave. I had to get my own vehicle. Um, do you have a Facebook page for your music or YouTube? Um, his music, I didn't read any further, so I don't know if he answered this or not, but I'm going to go on and do it because it's my show, damn it, and I'm going to just take control. Um, he has TJ Holton, just like his name is on here, and he's got a lot of his music on there. He's got, matter of fact, I'm going to be working on a video of his music or some of his music. There's no way I can get it all on a video. It'd be hours and hours and hours long. But I'm going to be showcasing a lot of his music on an upcoming video on here. So, and the more videos he gets done, music videos, that's what I want to showcase on there. That way they're not just looking at a still picture of him while the music plays. You know, the more videos he gets done, that's what I want to showcase so people can see not only hear his music, but they can see who they're hearing. Did you like how I used your song on the the video on the podcast Friday night, Ty? I was just trying to show that not all music falls into that category they were talking about. You know, play music, slow it down, backhash it, play it backwards, and listen to the messages in the music. Using yours just proved there's not always a bad message in music. Welcome back, Mr. York. Most of my songs are party anthems or outlaw country music. Listen to the newest one I have out. I just sent you it, Drew. Okay, I will. 16 or 17 I have on YouTube. I was advised to start a website. Actually, I don't know you did that, Drew. Hopefully, others liked it after you did that. Well, we'll just have to see. Be honest with you, I don't share it. I don't think I've shared it out yet. I might have. Let me look here real quick. Doo-doo. Okay. Where's the podcast at right now? Um, 24. It's got a hell of a view duration though. But yeah, views are all greenlit, above average on the views. So there's a lot of people being exposed to your music right now. Oh, anytime, bro, anytime. I heard the song and really liked it. You need to go through and find his channel on the platform and listen to a lot of his different music. It's for an old country guy like me. I grew up listening to Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings and Jerry Reed and, you know, Chris Christopherson, you know. But, as music has evolved and, people like Jason Aldean and stuff like that, people like that have come out. I have learned to embrace the different eras of country music. Um, Lady Antebellum and Taylor Swift and Jason Aldean and these different guys. Jason is notorious for um, how can I sound hip when I say this? He's notorious for spitting a line, you know, rapping during his songs, and Ty does that a bit in some of his songs, and I like it. I would have never pictured his his skinny Stetson wearing ass rapping, but he does it and it's good. And the really cool thing about it is I can understand everything he says. Um, okay. There are two YouTube channels with my music, and my distributor started and one of my own channels. They are both under under TJ Holton. Man, I can't wait to be able to wear sunglasses again and not have to. I know I keep going on about it, but I'm excited. I'm excited after 2 years of dealing with this and tripping over things and stepping on the cat and walking past shadows because I can't tell if it's something laying on the floor or what it is. You know, I walk around this house like Mr. Burns off The Simpsons. Little baby steps. Going out on the back deck to go somewhere and and being able to see the color difference between the deck and the gravel, so I know when to stop and start moving my foot around trying to find the edge of a step, and then stepping down and doing the same thing on the next step and stepping down. It's going to be great. It's going to be great, and I can't wait. Sorry, I forgot to use Capster. It's all right. I know it makes a difference. It does. It helps out. But, they say that when you use caps, you're yelling. So, we'll just pretend that I'm partially deaf too, and y'all got to yell at me to get my attention. Nice thing is you won't have to do it much longer. We are happy for you to you should talk about it. It's exciting news. I'm going to yell at you. I'll call and do that. I think at my next eye doc visit, I am going to ask about options to fix the fact that I can't see shit up close. I would. I would. I'll tell you what, you don't really, I don't want to say value, you don't really think about the value of your peepers until you start to lose it. And the last 2 years has really opened. I loosely use this term, so excuse me. The last 2 years has really opened my eyes when it comes to how important it is. I'm not going to take anything away from a person born with a disability or something, or a person that develops a disability in their eyes, because, they have to learn to maneuver through a house and to conversate with people, or whatever the case may be, without that possibility of getting their eyes fixed. They get used to it, they develop ways of doing it and dealing with it. And I know my wife's a little upset. Um, I know, I know she was planning on buying a cheese grater for Christmas and telling me it was a Braille book, just to see me sliding my fingers over the cheese grater. That's been taken away from her now, and I'm sorry, honey. I wish that I wish there was something that I could continuously bring you pleasure in your life by cooking up, but yeah, maybe, I don't know. I've still got 40 years left, so maybe I'll develop some other weird something. I don't know. Who knows? Um, is that Santee? No. Wait. Yeah. Good morning, Santee. Good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Um, Glad the good news is on the horizon. Oh, I am too, bud. I am too. Hope all is well. Definitely so. Been a good day. Santee, I have something for you. I need to send you. I think you're going to like it. I want to see Santee wearing that coat that I sent him. I loved that coat. I want to see Santee wearing it again. It is supposed to be good weather aside from breezy. I am hoping to do antenna work this afternoon. I wrote a theme song for Santee and Arizona Ghost Riders. Yeah, I knew you said you was going to. I was wondering if you got it done. You got that done quick, too. I couldn't wear that coat at all this season. We didn't get to even 50 degrees. I was wondering about that because I know that you've told me in the past that though you don't get uh, really cold temperatures down where you're at, you can see snow up on the mountains just outside of the city. And, when we talked the other day, you had made the remark that it had been a really, nice winter where we had snow, 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 wind, snow, snow, snow. And then as soon as that was over, it was gale force winds, rain, tornado, wind, tornado, rain. And even today, the sun's out. Here it is. What the hell is it? 8:52. And I just watched the weather before we started this stream, and they're talking about um, high winds, hail, and rain uh, moving into our area tonight and tomorrow. And, they've been discussing for a few days now the fact that, it's supposed to rain pretty much all week here. So it's spring, it's almost April. You know what they say, April showers bring flooded basements or something. We don't have any Mayflowers around here, so I can't utilize that accurately. And again, I say that's the nice thing about this house being located on a hill. Even if everything else floods, we're 5 feet above everything else. Even if it rains cats and dogs, we're sitting higher than the alley and the road. So just run right down both of them. I want to put up, I want to put up 3 new antennas. You'll be busy, Tony. Nice winter in Arizona, lower than 100 feet. We can get to freezing for sure. It just doesn't happen often. Actually, while you are shoveling snow, we are deciding what t-shirt to wear. Hopefully you like it. If you don't, it won't hurt my feelings, but I thought you could use it or just keep it for yourself. Not 100 feet, 100 degrees. We're in autumn here, and Australia going into winter, and it's starting to cool down to 10 degrees Celsius at night. Snow, my grass is green and needs cut. Remember, Drew, we can still make you a snake. Push on eye patch for Halloween. You got my permission, sir. Do it. Even with two good eyes, I'll still sport a snake eye patch. As long as you don't have the rattle, hanging out of the center of it. So whenever I shake my head, I've seen a rattlesnake skin hat band before, but I have never seen a snake skin eye patch. It'd be unique. I like unique. That would be cool, actually. Snake skin eye patch. Obviously, he missed the Pliskin part. Wait, I'm missing that word. Oh, it's a web address. That's why. Snakes are a favorite animal of mine. Saw a few summer just gone. I don't know how snakes can be a favorite of yours. I think that is the way I like to go out and walk and explore outside of the towns and stuff when I live in one. I think that would be my biggest fear of living in Australia. I mean, you guys have what, two of the five deadliest snakes in the world that live in Australia. And yeah, frankly, that just scares the bejesus out of me. Just knowing I couldn't get out and walk the outback or something, or go out and walk the rural country areas without fear of, getting bit by a two stepper or, something like that. And I mean, you're one of what, three or four members of this channel um, that live in Australia, and you're actually the only one that's not given me any horror stories yet of waking up and finding a wild roo in your backyard, or you know kicking the crap out of your dog, or finding a wallaby out in your hedges in front of your house or something. We actually have most of the top, most venomous in the world. Santee, I will get that sent out to you today or tomorrow at the latest. Okay, who's this? I saw good morning. Good morning, Stephen. Good to see you, bud. You know, I heard somebody talking about Chuck Norris last week, and they said that a lot of people didn't know Chuck Norris actually died 5 years ago, but death was so afraid of him, he didn't have the heart to tell him. He was too scared to tell him. So, that's, you know, it's sad. I like to laugh at some of those Chuck Norris jokes. And I've even seen videos of Chuck Norris telling Chuck Norris jokes. I seen a video. I seen a video from his wife, and there was a clip of him in the video, um, and he said something to the effect of, when I die, I'm not going to waste my energy flying to heaven. I'm going to make him build an elevator. Um, oh, what was the other one? I don't remember. I've heard so many of them over the last couple of weeks since he died. Um, oh, Drew, before I forget, um, I took Brenna on a historical trip yesterday about Jesse James around my grandpa's farm. She was astonished. I am in. Oh crap! Here we go. I am in an area of central Illinois that has no venomous snakes, but 20 miles away across the river there is a colony of Mossasuga rattlesnakes. Oh wow. I was staying at friends years ago. Woke up to a 3 meter saltwater croc in the pool. It's just part of life here. And we got snake bite first aid and kits. Well, that's cool. A 3 meter croc. Wow. My Facebook account, I remade the cast of Walker, Texas Ranger. Good morning. Good. Good morning, Jan. Good to see you, love. Hope you're doing good this morning. Johnny, in my part of Australia, we've got 5 6 here. Stephen, I am good. Thank you. Good. Hey, Ty. I'm no good. Don't know why, but I ain't believing that. So sorry I wasn't more talkative yesterday. I had just woke up. No, you're good, sis. You're good. I I I knew I was calling early, but like I said, I had to go and I had to get myself ready for Uncle Roger's um, birthday and his little celebration of life thing. Had to get the kid up, get her in a tub and everything. So, but I didn't want to call any earlier for fear, that you guys had completely tuckered yourself out in the last week and you were actually trying to sleep in on your birthday, which, by the way, guys, yesterday was Jan's birthday, too. It's like, this end of March thing. Everybody has a birthday. Uncle Roger, Grandma, Jan, my dad's tomorrow, today. So, yesterday was Jan's. She turned 23, 24. Glad to hear you're doing great. Thank you for the positive vibes. The other day, it helped pick me back up. Happy belated birthday. I'm so glad. I'm always here for you. I am listening to the Coast Guard on radio. Yes, there is Coast Guard in Peoria. I even thought we are 70 miles from the coast. Yeah, happy belated birthday. God love you, bro. Thank you, Tony. Oh, but yeah, like I said earlier in the stream, guys, we are, as soon as I get these peepers peeping again, we are picking up the pace on both channels. Danny and I have already talked about um, upcoming investigations, the quality of the videos on this channel, and since I'll be able to see again, we might actually get to a location or two here in Michigan or down in Upper Indiana or something to shoot live from. Um, I do have to get a hold of Mark and see how his work schedule in the state corrections is going to play out with investigations this year. Plus, I got, you know, it's basically almost April, so, middle of May, I've got that Ren Fair um, that I've got to try to, get things squared away for. I will have my peepers back by then, so, you know, the old eagle eye going to be sitting up on his hill watching everybody in that place. We chose the right name for the farm. It's crazy windy this morning. The name is Windy View Farm. Yeah, they're talking about, I don't know about how far down uh, this new warning for this week is going to be. Uh, I know that they're talking high winds, hail, and rain uh, coming across Lake Michigan, hitting us tonight. Then pop up thunderstorms coming up from the lake tomorrow. But they had said something about the Midwest and the Ohio Valley come tomorrow night, early Wednesday. So nobody said anything about swirly things, but they were definitely talking hail, high wind, and a lot of thunder boomers. So yeah, you may not have even seen your windy view yet. Sounds like the perfect name. Definitely, it is the perfect name. It also has a lot of meaning to it. As long as it don't blow so hard that you walk out to take care of the little girls in the morning and they're all naked out in their pen because the wind got so hard it blew all their feathers off. Because, I'm here to tell you that naked chickies are just ugly. They look like something out of a horror movie. That is one thing I hated about working in the giant chicken houses down in Tennessee when I lived down there was going into those houses to get the mist sexed chickens and stuff like that out. And several of them had beat up on one of the other chickens and it was like 90% plucked. What do you do? They just ugly. They scary looking. One thing I am really looking forward to, and y'all missed it, about what, 2 hours ago, 2.5 hours ago. I was I went to pour me a cup of coffee, and I didn't realize that I had the pot tilted the wrong way, like too much to the side. And I'm sitting there and I'm holding my cup, and I start pouring the coffee right down my fingers. I might have said a dirty word or two, but I didn't drop that cup, and I didn't flip out. I got me a napkin, and I wiped my fingers off, and I wiped off the bottom of my cup, and I set it down on the desk, and I pulled my hand back up, and I said a couple more dirty words, like real dirty ones. But I didn't drop that cup. I'm going to look so forward to not having to worry about pouring hot coffee on my hand in the morning, to being able to cook again. I'm going to look forward to that. To being able to mow my own yard once we figure out the mower thing. Because, well, to get our mower repaired is going to wind up costing us more than what the mower cost us when we bought it. Because the place here in town wants $50 just to look at it, and then we, pay for any parts and labor and stuff. And we only paid $300 for the mower. We got 9 mows out of it before it quit working 3 years ago. We had a guy coming by last year to do all of our mowing, but he don't have his riding mower anymore. So we don't even know how we're going to mow the yard. But I'm looking really forward to it. I'm looking forward to landscaping. I'm looking forward to mowing. I'm looking forward to planting flowers. I've got some big plans for landscaping. If the railroad, lets me take about 20 of their old railroad ties before they haul them off and burn them, that's what I'm going to do out front. I'm going to get rid of this hill out here with all the big rocks in it and put out railroad ties. And then I'm going to bring in fill dirt and level it out from the top of the railroad ties back to the yard and plant hedges along in that fresh fill dirt. I need probably 30 railroad ties. So I'll finally be able to do some of the crap that I missed doing. Um, I used to hate the smell of wet feathers when you scalded them for butchering or 10 dirty words. Something like that. Oh, you will manage to pour it on yourself. I have complete faith in that ass. We went to the top of the hill in front of the house to visit the grave. We were initially told it was a cemetery, but there is only one grave there. We're looking into the history of the family. Well, maybe you can answer this question for me then. Being being yet another historian and a logical person, how many graves have to be on a grave site before it's considered a graveyard or a cemetery? How many graves have to be there before it is no longer considered a grave site and is considered a cemetery? Is there like a national average? Did somebody lay this thing out? So there's a required amount. I don't know. I do know the difference between a graveyard and a cemetery. A graveyard has a church sitting on the property, and a cemetery don't. Well, it's not supposed to. But like in Eau Claire, Michigan, with that little place they call Munchkin Land, it is the Frost Cemetery, but there's a church sitting there. But if you look it up, a cemetery don't have a church. A graveyard does. So how's that work? Um, Good morning. Poopy caca. God, I can't wait to get my eyes fixed. Hey, Richie. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing good. Is it warming up by you? Yeah, we were actually up in the 60s yesterday, and we're supposed to be back up here today, but we got all that rain and wind and stuff coming later today and tonight from over on your side of the lake. And then tomorrow they're talking about pop up thunder showers coming off the lake and hitting us. And, the last time I heard, they're talking about rain pretty much all week long. So getting warmer though. I would guess that it is being more. I would being more than family. Otherwise, they are considered a plot. I'm getting warm. I'm getting warm and cold. Up to warm weather and cold again. Today it is warm. It's supposed to be 82 so or so here today. Oh wow. I don't know that there is a specific number. There is supposedly two or 3 more cemeteries on our property. So the county is stating that the hill here is a cemetery. So not sure. We're surprised to get to 72 here today. Oh, we're supposed to get. What are we going to get? Let's see what we going to get. We're 53 right now. Come on, Ornery. Daily. Well, the next 5 days looks kind of, I mean, nice, but Wednesday is going to be 71 today, 79 tomorrow, 48 Wednesday, 72 Thursday, and 62 on Friday. So, I mean, kind of wish I had my peepers back now. I'd be out there cleaning the yard up and stuff and getting sticks picked up. But if it's going to be sunny like this, I'm just wasting my time because I'm going to be tripping over them and not picking them up. My luck, I'll get one through my leg or something or stuck in my belly, and then I'll have something else to operate on. And we still don't have the truck back. It's supposed to be middle of the week. If they got the right timing chain cover in the mail, because they ordered two of them last week and they were timing chain covers for a Mustang engine and not a Ford Explorer. He thinks he's got the right one coming, or did Friday when I spoke to him on the phone. The guy swears up and down he took it off a Ford Explorer. So, of course, they want to put used parts back on it because, well, they quoted us so low of a quote to do the repairs on it that they can't afford to go out and buy any new parts. I mean, they've had it for 5 weeks, and they only quoted us $600 to take the front end apart, replace the tensioner pulley, replace the timing chain cover, replace the serpentine belt, and put everything back together. So luckily, they don't charge for storage. Um, they just charge for when they have it in the shop. And he told me Friday that he thought it would be done by the middle of the week. So we'll see what happens with that. Bloody thing. Um, JJ, random question. Is there a body of water or creek, river down towards the back of your property on very very close by. You already have two important things to do after the stream. Yes, we have a creek running through the entire property. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, I definitely gotta call them today and see if that part came in, and call the old man, which they're an hour behind us, so it'll only be 9 o'clock when I call. So he should be sitting down eating his bacon and eggs about the time I call. I'll try to talk mom into making him a cake, but 85 is an accomplishment. I don't care who you are, especially when you outlived your own dad by a decade. Um, 85's 85's a hell of an accomplishment. Then again, he's so ornery. I look for him to outlive me. You have to call your dad and wish him happy birthday and open a message. Tell her to bake him a cupcake. I do too. I hope you do too. I hope we all do. I'm just, you know, I'm just, I'm just looking forward on this new lease. Getting my eyeballs back, I'm on this new medicine, getting uh, my beaters under control, losing weight. Hopefully, the wife and I can start going to the gym. 'Cause I know she wants to drop a few pounds here and there. I'd like to start building up what I got. I think I'm below that 200-pound mark. I've been trying to get her to let me bring a scale in this house for 10 years. She tells me no, they're evil. They're worse than previously owned mirrors and haunted dolls, and I cannot have a scale in this house. So I got to rely on, you know, a, a monthly month and a half visits to the doctor to find out how my weight loss thing is going. So, um, yes, I hope. If he's anything like you, he will enjoy a decorated cupcake or two. Well, I'll tell you what. The daughter made um, a layered chocolate cake for school the other day because she's been taking culinary classes at school, and she made this double chocolate cake. And how she did it, I've never even attempted. Some of you guys know she's been very much into the baking thing for the last few years, and she's loving it. Well, she made two round cakes, and she has this little thingy that almost like a giant cheese grater. And she runs it across the top of the cake and, cuts the hump off. And then she takes it into the center of the cake and cuts the cake in half. Well, that gave her four layers. And she, iced in between each layer and then completely iced the cake. And then she took, I swear to God, she took coffee, mocha, and she mixed it into the chocolate icing. And that's what she decorated the top and the sides of the cake with, was this coffee based chocolate icing. It was probably the best frickin' cake I have ever had in my life. When she got home from school, she had two pieces left, one for me and one for mom. And I ate mine Friday evening, and I was blown away with how well the coffee went with and she had the coffee grounds ground up so fine you couldn't even feel the texture of the coffee grounds on your tongue in the icing. I mean, it just felt like the texture of the chocolate icing. I don't understand how she does it. I really honestly don't. Jay has been losing weight with the move and working to clear portions of the property. I have heard Steph say, I thought that was funny. Good morning, Bud Files. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. How you doing, Sue? Oh, oh, goodness gracious, man. Yeah, I'd actually like to rearrange the kitchen. That's something else on my getting my eyes back celebration 2026 to do list. I want to pull up that old linoleum. I want to rearrange the kitchen to the point where the daughter has her own workspace. Um, the way our kitchen is arranged, it's long. It's a long rectangle, and when you walk in the back door, you've got like utility room door right behind it. Then you've got freezer, two pantry cabinets, refrigerator. Then you've got cabinets that go down about 4 feet and round the corner, and then that's where the stove's at. Then you've got the doorway into the living room and cabinets that go about halfway up the wall this way. Well, since we don't have the dishwasher anymore, I want to go to that halfway point and build another little bar or something off where the dishwasher used to be, where the daughter can put all of her baking pans, all of her everything, and still have that, 2.5 or 3 foot section of cabinet. And all she's basically got to do is turn around, take 2 steps, and there's the oven. I've got a couple bar stools in here that I can put up on the back side of that little kitchen area. We can take the leaf out of the table, um, take it back down to just a round table. Doggone it. This has been happening for like 3 days now. Just randomly get the hiccups. But yeah, I would love to. If anybody knows where to get a super duper duper cheap, preferably free, but super duper duper cheap, um, stand mixer, like the old Hobart kind or KitchenAid or whatever it was. She really wants to um, devote her time to baking, not just baking for us, but baking for other people here in town. And I'm really really thinking about um, having her start, along about July, having her start busting out cookies like a little mofo. That way, in August, when the fair comes around, um, selling her cookies and cakes and pies and stuff like that. I mean, in October, she'll be 18 years old. If she wants to get her name out there as a baker, we have no other bakers in town. People have to go 20, 25, 30, 40 miles to find a baker around here. And, if she wants to get her name out there, this fair we have is the way to do it, because we draw thousands and thousands and thousands of people that week. Um, um, what's up, Ian? How you doing, bud? Hope you're doing good. Hey, don't forget Ren Fair, bud, in your town, May 16th and 17th. The really cool thing about it is that'll be gone. The old Eagle Eye will be back. I'm having eye surgery. I actually went to Great Lakes Eye Care there in Niles on Wednesday, and they told me they can fix both eyes. So here in approximately 2 weeks, I got to go back to Great Lakes to get my eval from the eye doctor, the eye surgeon, and then possibly as early as the 17th, go to Great Lakes in St. Joe, and they're going to do the surgery. So you're not going to see no more eye patch. Unless Santee gets the snakeskin eye patch done for me that he mentioned in here earlier, and he mentioned to me when we were talking 2 days ago. Um, I might, wear it just as part of the costume, but I think I'm going to want to use both my eyes that weekend. It's been so long since I've been able to see. It's been 2 years since I've been able to see out of that eye. So I think I might not wear it. Um, I always check Facebook Marketplace. You might find something there. Yeah, I might. I never thought about that. You might want to look into laws about selling baked goods on a commercial level, baked at home. Well, um, if it's private, you don't need to worry about a license. If you're trying to bake them and then sell them in a business, you need an at home. There's a special license that you need to have to it's like at home baking or at home baking source or something like that type of license. Because we ran into that when I was up at the brewery when they wanted to bring in donuts and stuff for a while. And as long as they bought them from an established bakery, they didn't have to worry about anything. But the prior chef that was there when I started uh, was a baker, and he wanted to bake stuff at home and bring it in, and they needed a special license for that. But as long as you're baking it in your home and it's not going to a business, then you're good. Hence how the Scouts and the you know Cub Scouts and Girl Scouts and Weeblos and stuff like that can bake cookies and have a bakery sale, or church can do a bakery sale um, just out at a fair or something to make money. Snake Plissken. Well, I'll accept it. I come from Santee. I mean, I'll accept it. Tony, you are correct. There must be no pets in the area, and it needs to be inspected. I kind of looked into that when I considered making pies to sell. Here, I'll do it real quick. What kind of license do you need in the state of Michigan to bake and sell goods at a fair?
In Michigan, you usually don't need a license to bake and sell things like cookies or bread at a fair, as long as you follow the Michigan Cottage Food Law. This means meeting labeling rules, selling directly to customers, and having annual sales under $25,000.
Well, I don't know if you could hear that or not, but the cottage law in this, that's what it's called, as the cottage law in the state of Michigan. You don't usually need a license as long as you sell directly to customers. You don't try to sell them to a business and then they resell them or whatever. Let me enlarge that. Do not need a license and sell non hazardous goods like cookies and breads, cakes at a fair, provided you operate under the Michigan Cottage Food Law. You must meet labeling requirements, sell directly to consumers, and have gross annual sales under $25,000. That's what it was the cottage law. So you can bake them in your home and sell them directly to the individuals that are wanting to buy them, but you can't sell them to businesses or put them in to sell at gas stations or whatever. Wasn't allowed to do it from the house, but it was fine to put an oven in a separate garage and bake. That's actually funny that you could bake in a separate garage, but you can't bake in your kitchen. Yeah, it said it was fine to do it. There was cottage law requirements, like making sure that they're labeled properly. So you got to put all the ingredients in and stuff like that. But that way, somebody who's allergic to what is it called? Um, that stuff that comes in wheat flour that'll make your dick fly off, um, or whatever. Gluten. That's what I was thinking about was gluten. Well, I would have had two restaurants that I would have sold to. That would have been cool. That would have been cool. My God, it's like 7 minutes till already. Go figure. Can't believe how quick these days are going by now. Just seems like a couple of months ago with the snow blowing and stuff like that, morning lasted forever. But then again, it was dark till 8:30. Now it's getting light out at 6 or 6:30 in the morning. It's warm out. It is time for me to do some filming outside. It is time for me to do some work outside. It's time for me to get used to having eyeballs again. So keep that in mind. Next week will be the last time y'all see me wearing this eye patch. I wish I could have seen to work the camera last Wednesday when I got back from the eye doctor because they, diluted my eyes and not diluted. What's that called? Jan, what is that called? You had it done to yours when you had your cataract surgery. What's it called when they put the little droppy things in your eyes and it buggers you all up? Dilated, diluted, dilated. So not only was everything blurry and fogged over, but it was extra blurry. I'm just lucky that my buddy Mike took me to the doctor's appointment because he was real nice about being quiet when I walked out. He had the car parked in the parking lot. And I come walking out and I heard beep, beep. So I knew what direction to head. And I'm sitting there. I had my little cane with me because, uneven surfaces, no depth perception, sunny. I had my stick with me and I was walking with it. And he let me walk and let me walk and let me walk. And then I heard beep, beep. And I turned around and I walked back and I walked and I got almost back up to the building and I heard beep, beep. I'm like, you're a dick. He just wanted to see how many times I would walk back and forth right in front of the car. Of course, he had it backed in. I wasn't looking for the front end of a Crown Victoria. I was looking for rectangle tail lights in it. So, he just wanted to see how many times I'd walk by. But I got home, I couldn't see nothing. It was freaking hilarious. And I thought more than once, man, I have got to get the tripod out here. I've got to get the camera mounted on it. And I got to give these folks something to laugh at. Watching me bumping in because we got this end table box thing for the litter box in the living room now. It's really cool because it's got these two like barn doors on the side of it. Got this latch on it that you open up and you can pull the litter box out to clean it and everything. It's real pretty, light gray wood. Got an opening in the front for the kitties to go in and out of. I don't know how many times I hit my shin and my knee on that thing walking around. So it's right at the end of the couch, so you can use the top as an end table when we have guests on those very rare occasions. But oh yeah, hit that, tripped over the cat. They would just randomly leave things laying in the floor for me to trip over and stuff. Left a black hoodie balled up in front of the air vent in the kitchen, right in front of the sink. So, I instantly thought it was, Ralph or Junior. I bent down, tried to pet it, and realized it was a sweatshirt. I was, she was sitting they were sitting at the table, I should say. And I see this thing over by the sink, and I'm like, Daddy, baby, come here, baby. Come here, Ralphie's. Come here, Mr. Piggy. And he wouldn't move. And I walked over there and started petting him, and it was a sweatshirt. Why he didn't move. They're finding their humor in this, and that's why I said earlier I really hope she can find something else to laugh at me about when I can actually see again. Because I'm afraid without this excitement, she's going to get bored. I can't bake pies without sampling. Copious sampling. Yeah, I understand that. I've been going to make a. I actually found a recipe the other day for a chocolate cobbler. It's more like a s'more cobbler, but you use a graham cracker crust and then you mix the chocolate, milk chocolate, and it's milk chocolate cake mix. But you mix you put the icing in, and but between the icing and the cake, you put marshmallow cream. Then you put the icing over the top, and you crumble up graham crackers, and you bake it, or you put it all over the top of it. It's like a s'more cake. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm just glad they got me on this new diabetes medicine. Hey, Squatchy. Good to see you, bud. I am. Can't tell the time. Well, you know it happens. Oh, goodness. But yep, super excited, guys. Like I said, this Monday and next Monday will be the last time y'all see this eye patch. So take it in. Called my son the other day. They had some high winds and tornadoes go through Muncie, Indiana. And I called him and I told him, I said, hey, on the 15th, I go in for my eval from the optical surgeon. And probably about the 17th or 18th, I'll go in and I'm just going to have my eyes taken out. He says, you're going to have your eyes taken out? I said, yep. I said, I'm thinking very seriously about getting two of those little teeny tiny rubber ducks and just sticking them in my eye sockets. And because I found a hat that looked like the roof of a house, I said, anybody says anything to the wife, she's just going to tell them I'm a birdhouse. He was all confused. I don't think he realized that they can actually replace your lenses. Give them books and give them books, and all they do is eat the pages. You guys all have yourselves a great week. It is that time, and I need to call Daddy, tell him happy birthday. So, y'all take care. Have a great week. If you got storms coming up in your area, batten down the hatches. They're not talking tornadoes, but they're talking high wind, hail, and a lot of rain. So, y'all just be safe, take care, and we'll catch you next Monday morning, 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll do it all over again. So until next week, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. We do. We'll see you in a week. Y'all take care.